Came across this clip, Ubuntu, put up by Midas Touch. Jack Smith quickly delivers reality check to Judge Cannon. This is supposed to be, I think, real interesting. It's been up for only 8 hours. It's had 500,000 views. It plays for just under 15 minutes, so sit back and let's have a listen. I'll get rid of any ads as they pop up, hopefully.
It's Michael Popak, Legal AF, right on time. And in breaking news, Jack Smith, special counsel. Yes, he's the special counsel, properly appointed by the Department of Justice and by Merrick Garland, is appealing this breathtaking decision by Judge Aileen Cannon to once and for all rid herself of the Mar-a-Lago case that she hasn't liked from the moment it was assigned to her by finding that the special counsel was illegitimate, invalid, improperly appointed, and improperly funded, taking the cue from a bunch of MAGA right-wing think tanks who wrote briefs that she accepted and made arguments in her courtroom that she accepted, even though they're not parties to the case. And then the final nail in the coffin for Judge Cannon is the love letter from Judge Clarence Thomas in the July 1st immunity decision that looked like it was directed directly to her. It might as well have said, "Dear Judge Cannon," or "Dear Aileen, you should challenge the special prosecutor, special counsel position and dismiss the entire indictment based on its illegitimacy." Well, Jack Smith is not taking it any longer. They've been waiting. They've been chomping at the bit at the special counsel's office to get a substantive ruling out of Judge Cannon, not one of these little quarter-page paperless orders that we've reported about ad nauseum here on the Midas Touch Network, but an actual living, breathing, good old-fashioned 93-page decision that is replete with improper analysis. It's both prolix, her decision, 93 pages, and short on analysis, improper legislative research and citations. I don't know how you can be both 93, both heavy and light at the same time. It's just chock full of make weight without real substantive proper analysis. And she, with the back of her hand, she dispatches and makes short work of the analysis based on the statutes that actually authorize, pardon me, the special counsel. So Jack Smith, as expected, waiting for this day for 2 years to find the third major reversible error mistake by Judge Cannon and argue for her reassignment off the case to the 11th Circuit, has finally spoken. Spokesperson for the special counsel's office, I'll read it to you. Peter Carr, special counsel, Jack Smith's office, quote, "The dismissal of the case deviates from the uniform conclusion of all previous courts to have considered the issue that the Attorney General is statutorily authorized to appoint a special counsel. The Justice Department has authorized the special counsel to appeal the court's order." Think of those words alone. Just that last sentence is a thumb in the eye back at Judge Cannon. Judge Cannon spent 3 whole pages in her decision, starting on page 24, telling the special counsel that he is invalid, saying that he's not an employee of the Department of Justice, that he doesn't have any authority with the Department of Justice. He's not a special attorney under the Department of Justice. He's just a stranger to the case. And in a very succinct way, almost like a haiku from Jack Smith to Aileen Cannon, he said the following: "The Justice Department has authorized a special counsel to appeal the court's orders because I take my orders, because I'm an employee. I am funded by the special counsel." That is already a exact response to her analysis. This is what the briefing said on page 24. Aileen Cannon said in her order that neither of the statutes relied upon by the Department of Justice or the special counsel to justify his existence work. Those 2 statutes approved by Congress are 28 U.S.C. section 510 and 515. On 510, let me read you the language of 510. 510 says the Attorney General may from time to time make such provisions as he considers appropriate, authorizing the performance by any officer, employee, or agency of the Department of Justice of any function of the Attorney General. What is the special counsel other than an employee or agency of the DOJ being given a function of the Attorney General? There's no doubt that Main Justice, the Department of Justice, could have prosecuted Donald Trump. But they did a good thing, not a bad thing, under Section 28 USC 510. But this is how dismissive she is. She analyzes that in one paragraph out of 93 pages on page 24. And she says that after she says special counsel Smith, all agree and as required by the special counsel regulations, was selected from outside the United States government. What does that have to do with it? He was selected from outside the United States government. But once selected, Judge Cannon, he became an officer, employee, or agent of the DOJ to fulfill a function of the Attorney General. And then she's so self-satisfied with her analysis that she ends it after one paragraph in 93 pages, the most fundamental issue in the case, with saying no more discussion about 510 is necessary. Because she declares it so in an imperious way, showing false bravado and misplaced bravado. Does the same thing about the other statute authorized by Congress that allows for the appointment of a special counsel, Section 515. Here she says, and I'm going to read you to 515, little b, as we say. Each attorney specially retained under authority of the Department of Justice shall be commissioned as special assistant to the Attorney General or special attorney and shall take the oath required by law. That all happened here. I know she doesn't like to acknowledge it, but the special counsel was commissioned as a special assistant to the Attorney General or as a special attorney. She says, well, that only refers to the U.S. attorneys in each district. No, that's not what it says. It rises and falls based on the express language, the literal language of the statute. And she then says under 515B, as she goes through the analysis on page 26 and 27, she concludes that he's not a special attorney because he's outside of the normal ranking hierarchy of the Department of Justice. I mean, this is utter and complete nonsense. And to remind her of who his boss is, even though he is quote unquote special, he is not independent. Let me repeat that. Jack Smith is special counsel, not independent counsel. Yes, there is supervision under the Department of Justice guidelines, there is supervision by the Attorney General of the actions of the special counsel. And he acts to run the case to give a bit of distance or a wall between the main justice. It doesn't mean he's not employed. It doesn't mean when he gets his direct deposit every month from somewhere, it's not coming from Merrick Garland's personal bank account. The payment to Jack Smith to pay him his salary and those of everyone around him. Alien Cannon was all upset. Oh, he spent $14 million. I mean, a third of that is for security details to protect the special counsel from death threats created by Donald Trump's rhetoric. The rest is the sprawling investigation in two places, Mar-a-Lago and the Department of Justice case against him in DC election interference. And she says, oh, he spent a lot of money. Right. And every time the Jay Bratt or Jeff or Pierce or any of the special counsels working under Jack Smith get paid, if they were to look at their paycheck, it would say it's coming from the Department of Justice, the U.S. Treasury. Where does he think the money's coming from? I mean, that's why he said, and the Department of Justice and the Attorney General has authorized me to appeal your butt. That's my own personal observation on that. What kind of night is it?
There's an ad there. They're promoting some products, so it looks to me like this is going to be back on deck. Yeah. And they're going to have to deal with it. I don't know, folks. Don't know how long this is going to be. They're promoting some products. But it looks like this isn't going to go away. It looks like Judge Cannon got herself into a real uncomfortable position that she's going to have to deal with. She might even get disbarred. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? And it looks like they're going to go ahead and prosecute Donald. As they should. I mean, the guy had all kinds of classified documents scattered everywhere. Boy, they're really pitching products here. Well, I mean, they got 2.5 million subscribers. So a lot of companies that want to sell goods are going to go with their sites. All right, come on, enough of this already.
But no. Because Aileen Cannon's decision is such an outlier, such a rogue, such a so outside the mainstream, such fringe adoption of theories, zombie theories that have been floating around the right-wing MAGA conservative world forever. Anything they could throw up against the wall, if they could just find a judge to accept it, they found a judge in Aileen Cannon. But fortunately, she's got bosses at the 11th Circuit. We know she's ignored, thank God for that. We know she's ignored her fellow senior judges in the Southern District of Florida. There's already been reporting that Judge Cecilia Altanaga, who I know well from when I practiced in Miami, who's now the chief judge in the Southern District, tried to counsel Aileen Cannon to step off the case. And I think Judge Middlebrooks did the exact same thing. She refused. Now we know why. Because who else was going to make this decision that she just made to dismiss an indictment, finding that the special counsel's office is improper after 20 or 30 years of its operation under more than one president, including Donald Trump's own Attorney General, Bill Barr?
Another ad just popped up. I'll get rid of it. Hang on.
So thankfully, it's going to the 11th Circuit. Now, the 11th Circuit is filled of former trial judges in Miami, and I know some of them well, in Alabama and in Georgia. William Pryor, a Georgia former judge, is the chief judge. But there's other there's other judges on the 11th Circuit that sits in Atlanta. Sometimes hears oral argument in different places in Alabama or in Florida. These judges are waiting, I believe, for her to have made this major step. And this isn't her stepping in a bucket. This is her stepping into a crevice and disappearing into oblivion because they're going to reverse her at the 11th Circuit. The question is how quickly. How quickly is that briefing schedule going to be arranged? Now, I'm a member of the 11th Circuit, and I'm a member of the Southern District of Florida, and I've appeared in front of many of the judges in the Southern District of Florida, just not Aileen Cannon, although I have been in her courthouse up in Fort Pierce. And so I think what's going to happen is they're going to set a relatively quick briefing schedule throughout the month of July into August, and they're going to make it, after oral argument, they're going to make a ruling in August. And I think it's going to be against Aileen Cannon. They're going to order her to reopen the case, and they may even reassign it because the 11th Circuit has a lemon law. 3 strikes and you're out, and she's made 3. This will be her 3rd major reversible error decision as a young, immature, inexperienced judge. 2 to start the case about the documents and the search warrant, and 1 now. And if they reassign her, which they're allowed to do under another statute that she won't be able to challenge or misinterpret, they'll sign it to another senior judge in the Southern District of Florida. It could be Judge Middlebrooks, who already had the Clinton-Trump case. Could be Judge Altanaga. Anyone will do a better job than Judge Aileen Cannon. And that's the issue that the special counsel is now going to prosecute. And of course, as I've done another hot take, this opens the floodgates of attacks against the special counsel. Not just this special counsel, prior special counsels. Come one, come all. If you were prosecuted and convicted by a special counsel, you've got a new case that you can wave around on your appeal and move to vacate your judgment or your verdict against you. Hunter Biden, doesn't matter that your father and his lawyers run the Department of Justice. You can try to get your recent gun conviction overturned. Maybe. And, of course, Donald Trump's going to file this same motion citing back to Aileen Cannon in front of Judge Chutkan. I can't wait for that collision of intellects to happen. Aileen Cannon's decision, half-baked as it is, too smart by half as it is, going before Judge Chutkan in the D.C. election interference case. I think she makes short work of that motion to dismiss, and then you've got the D.C. Court of Appeals probably affirming the same thing. Will it eventually end up with the United States Supreme Court? Yes. When will that be? Not this term. Term is over. Sometime in the next term, which means sometime between Election Day and the inauguration or after. We'll follow it all, like we always do, here on the Midas Touch Network and on Legal AF. Follow me, Mike.
All right. This Judge Cannon is just a complete idiot. I'll attach the link. Look at it, pass it along. And thanks for listening.